When I tell you guys, I have 2 different eyelashes on my face today. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Hey guys, what's up? It's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. And if you've come back, thank you so much. Today, you guys, we are doing our February TBR, but of course, February is a very special month because we do have Valentine's Day. So I really wanted to do a really special, like Valentine's romance inspired TBR video today. And I was having a think and I was like, what can I do? And I've definitely been wanting to like get you guys more involved in this process now because I know you love it. And I just chat with you guys all the time on my other social medias too. So I thought because obviously February, I wanted to do something like Valentine's themed. I had a really cool idea and I thought I would get you guys to choose my TBR using very vague prompts, and I did end up posting those on my Instagram, so I'll get into that in a moment. So this is going to be a nice cozy sit down one again, so you guys know the drill. Let's get comfy, let's get cozy, and let's get right on into the video. All right, so before I go in and explain this a little bit more, I just want to let you guys know about the 3 books that are on my TBR this month that are not going to be part of this. So I've got 3 sort of on my mind. So there is one new release this month coming out that I haven't already read yet, and that first one is Dream Girl Drama. This is by Tessa Bailey. I don't know why, but I guess Tessa Bailey has sort of like dropped off a lot of people's radars lately. And you know what? I sort of had as well. However, last year I was actually sent the book before this, which was called The Au Pair Affair, and I absolutely loved it. Like it felt like OG Tessa was back. So the next book is Dream Girl Drama, and it's really funny because when I was reading The Au Pair Affair, I like knew her best friend and the side character, and I said, this girl needs her own book. And then the fact that she's getting one, I'm just so happy. It's just a funny, perfect rom-com, like a good time for Valentine's Day. So I believe that one comes out on the 12th of February. Then you guys will know I do have like a little yearly TBR challenge that I have here. So the February prompt is, the prompt for February, guys, I'm a clown. I'm just gonna swap them because I don't care. I thought the one for February was a book with a 1-word title, but it's actually a book you think you'll give 5 stars. I'm swapping them. A book with a 1-word title that I really want to read this month is Sunlight by Devney Perry. So I was actually book faired this from one of my beautiful subscribers as well, so thank you very much. I have read the first one. Devney actually sent me Crossroads, which is book number 1, and I loved it. And this one I'm really excited for because I know that it is an accidental pregnancy and we sort of have that rivals dynamic. I'm so excited. It's small town. I believe that she's the new like hotel manager. He lives on the property with his brother and I'm so excited. He obviously works at the same like motel, hotel, ranch thing. So I'm really excited to read this. I actually, funnily enough, started this book on my Kindle like on New Year's Eve for some reason, and then I just forgot about it, which is not good. I really want to finish it because I've heard nothing but good things about it. And then finally, some of you may know that I am doing a 12 months of bestie book recommendations, and it is going to be one ginormous like reading vlog at the end of the year. So this month I'm going to be reading Something Beautiful by Kate Weaver Smith, and this was recommended by one of my beautiful besties, Sienna. Sienna is one of my like very first friends that I met when I started doing TikTok maybe 2 years ago now. Met her and she is just the most beautiful person, but we just carry on in DMs like it's not funny. Like we just get along like a house on fire. We have really similar book tastes, and I remember her actually telling me about this book last year, and she was like, Belle, you need to read this, Belle, you need to read this. So when I reached out to her for a recommendation, she ended up of course recommending Something Beautiful, which I believe is a summer romance, which does work out. It's obviously Valentine's Day, but also it is the last month of summer here in Australia because it is really warm. I am sweating buckets in this, but you know what? It matched the vibe for today. I said, when am I going to get a chance to wear this red juicy, like, you know, tracksuit? And I thought, you know what? Valentine's Day. Anyways, that's that. Let me get into the fun stuff. Okay, so as I was saying, you guys, I was sort of thinking of like, what could I do? I thought I was going to do like an unwrapping thing, but I thought I wanted them to choose the books. So I came up with a really cool idea where I thought I'd give you guys 2 different very vague sort of prompts. I know what the books are, but I thought I would sort of post them. So I ended up posting a little photo on Instagram of each one, just sort of saying pick between these 2. So for instance, this one says Chocolate Box Sweet or Stolen Kisses. So I sort of just got you guys to pick the favorite out of the 2 prompts that I ended up showing. I know what the books are because I pre-chose them, but I wanted you guys to sort of just choose very vaguely, but they're all of course like Valentine's inspired little prompts. So I am so excited. I will be choosing 5 books for the TBR. There's 10 options because, you know, obviously one of them is going to be the one we choose and one is not. So let me just go on Instagram and see what you guys chose, because I put this poll up last week and then I haven't looked at it since. So let me go and have a look. Okay, so the first 2 prompts that I got you guys to choose between was Red Hot Romance or Sweeter Than Candy. Those were the 2 I got you guys to pick. Let's see which one you chose. Okay, so Red Hot Romance was 66% of the votes and Sweeter Than Candy was 34% of the votes. Interesting. So Red Hot Romance is a steamy, spicy book, sort of very self-explanatory. And then our Sweeter Than Candy was actually a small town romance, which I'm a little bit devo about because I love small town. You guys know that's sort of my bread and butter. So let's unwrap the 2 options. So we'll do the loser first. That sounds really sad, but let's do it. Okay, so the small town romance was going to be a photo finish by Elsie Silver. So this is the next book in the Gold Rush Ranch series. I've had this series sitting on my shelf for such a long time, and I was like a self-proclaimed Elsie Silver stan. It just doesn't sit right with me that I've only read like the first book and the novella in this series, but I really wanted to continue it. So this one is a no for this month, unfortunately. However, the Red Hot Romance, spicy romance is, I actually like literally cannot remember, but that's okay, is The Nanny by Lana Ferguson, which is another one that has been sitting on my shelf for a really long time. I thought when I looked at this, I was like, this is like a perfect one to read during Valentine's, like, you know, the romantic season. So let me read you guys the back. It says, suddenly unemployed, Cassie has 2 options: get a job and fast, or fire up her long untouched only schman's account. When she spots an ad for a live-in nanny position, it seems like the solution to all of her problems. But Aidan Reed, executive chef and DILF extraordinaire, is far from the stuffy single dad Cassie was imagining. With those hands and eyes that scream sex, such close proximity feels dangerous. With no other option, she takes the job and moves in with him and his adorably tenacious daughter Sophie. Cassie soon discovers that Aidan is not a stranger at all. Instead, he's somebody who is very familiar with her, or at least her body. Given that he doesn't remember her, Cassie is faced with what feels like an impossible situation. As their relationship heats up, Cassie struggles with telling Aidan the truth and the more terrifying possibility, losing the best chance at happiness that she's ever had. I immediately wanted to read this one. I think when I found out that he knew who he was or he'd watched her videos, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be so good. And you guys know I am the biggest sucker for like a single dad and the nanny trope. So I feel like this is gonna be, you know, all these little things that I love all rolled into one. So first book of the February TBR is The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. The next 2 prompts that I got you guys to choose between were Hearts in the Game or Secret Admirer. So our Hearts in the Game, of course, it's probably kind of a hint that it is a sports romance, and then Secret Admirer is a slow burn romance. So I picked some very interesting ones and I'm excited to see what you picked. I think if you guys pick wrong, especially for this one, you're gonna be really sad because there is a book that you guys really want me to read in these 2 options. So if you've picked the wrong one, I will cry for you. I will cry for you. Okay, so Hearts in the Game was 33% of the votes, and the winner by a long shot was Secret Admirer with 67% of the votes. So our sports romance, I will open what we're not reading, was Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. I have wanted to read this book for a really long time actually, because I've heard that the second one is amazing. I've heard rave reviews and obviously I wanted to get started. I know I've heard some great things about this one too, but I am a sucker for a college sports romance. However, this is kind of a good thing because I feel as though I'm really burnt out on the college hockey romance, you know, train at the moment. I feel like I love them, but I feel like I'm reading too many recently and they're becoming a bit repetitive. So maybe, you know, this is a good sign to take, you know, a break from it so that I don't read it and potentially not enjoy it. Our Secret Admirer slow burn book. Can you guess what the book is? I don't want to turn it on the side in case you guess it, because you may guess just based on the size of it. You are so lucky, and I know I've heard your screams. I think on every single one of my videos, the biggest comment I get is to read this book, and I've promised you guys it was going to happen, and look. You chose Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. Aren't we all happy? Let's cheer. Woo! I I'm definitely reading this book this month, and just to give you guys a little bit of a tease, we are doing 3 reading vlogs this month, which is really exciting. It's probably going to be my biggest month of reading vlogs. I'm going to include this one. As I promised, this will be in a reading vlog, so you'll see all my reactions. Depending on how I go reading this one, I will try to read Keeping 13 along with it, but I know you guys have been wanting to get this for a long time, so you're lucky that you picked that slow burn Secret Admirer one. The back of this says, Johnny Kavanagh has everything going for him. Primed for stardom on the rugby pitch, he's a force to be reckoned with. Nothing will stop him hitting the heights. Not even the shy new girl at Toman College with sad eyes and hidden bruises. The one that distracts him as no one else ever has. Life has never been easy for Shannon Lynch. She arrives at the prestigious private school praying for a fresh start, desperate to shake off the demons that plague her. On her very first day, she encounters the notorious Johnny Kavanagh. Instantly drawn to him, Shannon finds herself once again at the target of bullies as she forms a fragile alliance with rugby's rising star. But as they fall into a complicated friendship and grapple with their undeniable chemistry, Johnny and Shannon cannot foresee the obstacles that will threaten their blossoming relationship. I've heard nothing but good things. I'm terrified. I kind of wish this was on Kindle Unlimited because why is it so big? But I'm doing it and I'm excited to do it. So book number, what is this? 2 is Binding 13. Alrighty, the next 2 prompts that I got you guys to choose between were Roses and Revenge or Chocolate Box Sweets. So we do have a very different dynamic here. Roses and Revenge is an enemies to lovers book, and Chocolate Box Sweet is a light-hearted, fluffy rom-com. So 2 very different vibes. I think I know what you guys probably would have picked, but let's have a look. This one was like a clear winner by a long shot. So with 71% of the votes, we had Roses and Revenge, and 29% of the votes was Chocolate Box Sweet. So I do want a nice, like, you know, enemies to lovers vibe. I do love. So let's have a look at the books. So our light-hearted Chocolate Box Sweet book, let's have a look, was Make Me Yours by Melanie Harlow. This is another one that I've had sitting on my shelf for a very long time. I think it's from Amazon. It's like indie published too. I think all her books are indie published. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is like Next Door Neighbor's brother's best friend, I'm pretty sure. Like an accidental sexy like text has been sent between the 2 of them and then they just strike up a conversation. Yeah, he's my brother's best friend, the hot single dad next door. Y'all fumbled on this one. This one is... I'm gonna cry. I want to read this so badly. So anyway, that's one we're not reading, which I'm very sad about. Anyway, our Roses and Revenge Enemies to Lovers book. Let's have a look. Is The Lies We Steal by Monty J. This is a dark romance. I am sort of glad that the dark romance got chosen because it's probably our only like dark romance option that I put on like the options list for this month. So I have been wanting to read this for a really long time. I actually saw bestie Larry recommend this one. She just rants about it. I think I watched her whole video talking about this series potentially, but I know that it is set in a college. I think we are interconnected standalones as well potentially. So let's read the back. It says, it's been months since the day we stood above the empty grave that stunk of burnt flesh and secrets. All of us were dressed to the nines, one of us wearing a wedding dress, a day that was supposed to mark the beginning of a new adventure. It marked the bitter end of our vengeance. We have done things that have marked our souls for eternity, but it didn't start out that way, not for me. It all started there, the place I could find in my sleep. Hollow Heights University in the macabre, somber seaside town of Ponderosa Springs. A college for prestige, wealthy children to receive the highest education. A town drowning in treachery and secrets that became our damnation. But it wasn't the forest surrounding the grounds or even the mysterious hidden mausoleum that haunted me. It was them, the ones that lurked in the night, things so wicked, so twisted, so evil, they would become the rulers of my nightmares, the Hollow Boys. I'm really excited for this. I believe that it's not Why Choose, which I'm kind of happy about because I don't know, I like Why Choose when it's warranted, but I'm kind of over Why Choose in like dark romances. Like I think I kind of like the idea of like interconnected standalone vibes. I have heard this book like opens with a chase through the woods and like I love that so much. I can't wait. So I feel like this is gonna be a good one. So book number 3 is The Lies We Steal by Monty J. Okay, I don't even know what the next one is, to be honest. I'll be real with you guys. Alrighty, the next one that I got you guys to pick between was Stolen Kisses or Hopeless Romantic. So Hopeless Romantic is an angsty and emotional book, and Stolen Kisses is a forbidden romance. So very good options, both of these, like an angsty emotional book or a forbidden romance, both sort of tropes and dynamics that I really love. So let's see what you guys picked. Ooh, this one's probably the closest so far. So with 56% of the votes, we have Hopeless Romantic, and with 44% of the votes, we had Stolen Kisses. So that was pretty close. Our winner is the Hopeless Romantic, obviously, so something angsty and emotional. So let's see what the options were. So our Forbidden Romance, our Stolen Kisses, let's have a look. It was The Summer We Fell by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I've been wanting to read this for a long time. It was really skinny. I believe, obviously, it's a forbidden sort of dynamic. It's a summer romance, which would have been perfect, but I think we have too many summery books on the TBR now, which is fine. My boyfriend's best friend, the bane of my existence. I wanted to hate Luke Taylor. I did hate him. I just never hated him enough. Now, a decade later, tragedy has brought us back to the place where it all happened. My best and worst times, our lives have changed, but that pull between us is just as strong as ever. Only this time, it's more dangerous too. I'm interested. I think that's going to be cute, but I guess I'm going to have to leave that one for now. Our Hopeless Romantic option, our angsty and emotional option. I think I remember what this one was. Is The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. I have been wanting to read this for a really long time. Like, literally take a shot every time I say I've been wanting to read this for a really long time. I have been wanting to get into Rebecca Yarros's actual romance books because I know that she is a romance, like a contemporary romance author first, and obviously like Fourth Wing was her baby after that just took off. But I know she's got a lot. I know she's got a very big backlist, and I would like to start, like, you know, working my way through that. I have, however, had this one on my shelf for a really long time, and it's one that sort of intrigues me the most. I have heard from many people that it's going to break my heart. So the back says, when Georgia Stanton discovers that her late grandmother Scarlett, the infamous romance author, didn't get the chance to finish her last book, she is determined to share her story, but first it needs to be written. Enter Noah Harrison, the best-selling romance author of his generation. When Georgia meets him, she is distraught. Although he's charming and handsome, there's nothing beneath the surface. But as they start working together, Georgia begins to see that there might be more to Noah than meets the eye. Together they realize that Scarlett was saving the greatest love story of all until last, her own. While serving in the Second World War, she fell in love with the handsome and enigmatic pilot Jamison. But are Georgia and Noah about to discover that not all love stories have a happy ending? I feel like this is gonna break me. It's kind of messy. It says 2 enemies, 1 unfinished manuscript, the love story of a lifetime. I'm actually terrified. And you know what? I think last year I said this as well. I feel like I didn't read any emotional romances, like actual books that are sold as emotional romances last year. I read a lot in 2023, but last year I was just having a funny, silly, good time, haha, kiki. Like, I didn't read anything like actually traumatizing, and I feel like it's time to go back to the trauma, you know what I mean? Alrighty, our very last 2. I'm very excited for this. Okay, our very last, lucky last prompts that I got you guys to choose between were First Kiss Feels or Love You to the Moon and Back. So First Kiss Feels is a friends to lovers romance, and Love You to the Moon and Back is a fantasy romance. So romantasy. I had to throw a romantasy in there. You know that is in my veins now. Like, I love romantasy so much. I couldn't do a full month of just romance. Like, I think I would go insane. So I was like, hopefully maybe they'll pick that. So let's see which one you guys chose. Okay, we had another clear winner. So First Kiss Feels got 40% of the votes, and the winner was Love You to the Moon and Back with 60% of the votes. So I guess we've got a romantasy, but let's see what the options were. So First Kiss Feels was a friends to lovers, and you know, this is really hard because I love friends to lovers so much. You guys know, to me, that is like the superior romance trope over enemies to lovers. I feel like it just hits, especially when it's like childhood friends to lovers. So I'm kind of bummed that this didn't get picked, but it's okay. So the book that I had was The Last Time We Met, and this is by Emily Houghton, or Houghton. I've had this for a long time again, but funnily enough, myself and my best friend Bridie in real life, we both were in a Big W one day, and we just stumbled across this a couple of years ago. It's definitely been a couple of years. This has been on my shelf. We both like stumbled on it together, and I'm pretty sure we both bought this book. Bridie, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you're watching. But it's been sitting around for a really long time, and I believe it is like past, present, friends to lovers. It says on the front, 1 promise, 2 decades, can they still keep their word? And on the top it says a gorgeous friends to lovers romance. Yeah, so it's got like, it goes back and forth, but then like apparently like, I mean, it's sort of maybe the vibes of like Love and Other Words, but hopefully better. If it's not, I'll actually cry. But that's okay, that's not the option for this month. And our Love You to the Moon and Back, which is our romantasy pick. I'm so excited to read this book. It is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I'm so excited to start this book and to start this series because I did read Caraval last year and I absolutely loved it. I feel like that series just needs like so much more hype. I feel like everyone loves this and talks about this one, but Caraval was great. I mean, maybe my mind will be changed once I do read this, but I'm so excited. This one does follow Jax, who is actually a side character in Caraval, and I believe this is his turn to sort of step into the leading man light. What? I don't know. But anyway, let's read the back. It says, how far would you go for happily ever after? For as long as she can remember, Evangeline Fox has believed in happily ever after until she learns that the love of her life is about to marry another and her dreams are shattered. Desperate to stop the wedding and heal her wounded heart, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic but wicked Prince of Hearts. Ah! That's my man! That's my man! Okay. That's my man. In exchange for his help, he asks for 3 kisses. Why am I going to start this tonight? Be for real, sit down. Okay, in exchange for his help, he asks for 3 kisses to be given at the time and place of his choosing. But after Evangeline's first promised kiss, she learns that bargaining with an immortal is a dangerous game and that the Prince of Hearts wants far more from her than she pledged. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in their greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. I'm so excited to read this. I don't know what it is. Romantasy is just elite. Like, I'm gonna literally make that my agenda this year to tell that to you guys in every single video. That romantasy is elite. I want to read this right now. It's that serious. So that is the 5th and final, where's the thing? There it is. That is the 5th and final pick for our February TBR. All right, let's quickly run through what you guys chose again. So our red hot romance was The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. Our secret admirer was Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. Our enemies to lovers Revenge and Roses romance was The Lies We Steal. Our hopeless romantic emotional book was The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. And our love you to the moon and back romantasy was Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Alrighty, you guys, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for sticking through all the way to the end. If you did, I really appreciate it. What are you guys planning to read in February? Are you going to do a lot of romance? Are you just going to stick what you normally do? What's the vibe? Let me know what like new releases you're excited for, because I love to hear what you guys are reading. As always, you guys, if you're on already, you are more than welcome to follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. I'll leave my handles on the screen and in the description box. And if you'd like to, you can like this video and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you are hitting that notification bell, that way you're notified each time a brand new video comes out. Thank you guys so much for stopping by again. I really appreciate it wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a lovely day or a lovely night, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.